Mandy, I will touch on what you're saying right now. And a lot of us have come from places where our
Mm-hmm.
parents didn't show us how to love, our family didn't show us what love is. Hence the fact we have all these fucking issues as adults, right? But as an adult, it is your responsibility to fix that. It is your responsibility to figure it the fuck out. And if you choose not to, then it's your problem. It is nobody else's problem. Because again, you can't stay in that victim mode to say, well, no one showed me, no one taught me. Okay, no one taught you, but now you have the awareness now. So what do you do with it? Do you keep doing the same shit? Just because no one showed me, I ain't gonna change it.
Yeah.
No, you're a fucking adult now. It's up to
I think
you.
people have to be given that opportunity though. Because once you realize it, what do you do with it afterwards if you don't know what to do with it afterwards? Like, so for this group, we talk about healing circle and healing and blah, blah, blah. It's kind of like, and I'm not going to bring religion into it or say anyone's right or wrong, but it's kind of like the tribes that be out in South America, Africa, wherever, and they've never heard of this God, right? And then you send these missionaries out and they tell them about them. But the thing is like, what if you don't know? What if you don't know what to do with it? And you've never had that missionary come and tell you about healing. You've never had that missionary come and tell you that therapy was okay. Or, therapy costs money or insurance.
Right.
And what if you don't have that? So it's about realizing it and then trying to figure out what to do with it afterwards. Because there's certain things that aren't talked about in certain communities. Healing
Oh
is
yeah.
not something that's talked about. So just
No,
because some of us got really lucky and found the tribe, and now we know like where to go or how to handle things or to step, there's some people that have no clue
you know,
what to do with that.
and I believe that to a certain extent, but I was that person who just knew I needed to change something. You know what I mean? Like I knew I just could not sit in the same fucking energy, the same heartbreak, the same shit over and over. And that's before I even got into the spiritual path. I think at some point we all know that we're tired of being tired, right? At some point we all got this moment of just being tired. Like, unless you're not, because some people never get tired. They're just in the shit doing what they do constantly, and you never get that awareness or that awakening, which again, maybe that's your path. But if you get to a point where it's like, man, I'm fucking tired, and I know that's one of the things I hear a lot too is where do I start? And I always have to say, start somewhere. Start somewhere, make some moves. I've done traditional therapy that didn't work, hence the fact of coming to the spiritual path. But I've also put money into my healing. I think a lot of people also say they don't have money, but they do. And I always will bring this shit up. If you fucking can spend a couple $100 on some shoes, you will fix your car. You will spend $600, $700 to fix your car, but you won't fucking put that into you. It's things like that that we're conditioned to do. I would gladly go fix my car, but I won't fix me. You got to think of yourself in the same way. Are you, even if it does cost money, why would you not put that money into yourself, right? Most of us damn sure know we eat out, we do this, we do all of these things. Why would you not take that money into doing something to better yourself? Like I know in the community, I mean, I was raised in a community, no one talked about mental health or healing. But at some point now or nowadays, it is way more out there. It's way more available. People talk about spirituality and healing way more across the board.
I
When
think
do we change this?
a big part of it is number one, it costs an arm and a leg, right? So, me personally, if I was choosing my healing over fixing my car, I'm going to fix my car because I have to keep going. Like, I have to just keep going. I think that's why people don't heal until they get older, until they realize it, until they have that extra money. I think it's harder. I also think, like, when you grow up in the hood, like, nobody knows where to go. Nobody has healers in the hood. We got
No.
chiropractors in case we've been in a car accident, but we ain't got no healers in the hood. We got like
Which,
court ordered therapy that we're forced to go to, and that starts it. But also for me, it's hard to put so much money into something that I don't know is going to produce a result. Like, okay, so you go to college, right? At the end of the day, when you spend this money, you're going to have a degree. Healing is
Mm-hmm.
one of those things that keeps going. So you could have one person who did 3 sessions and has gotten past that trauma. And you could have another person that's on 10 sessions and still can't get past that trauma. And it's like,
Right.
I think it's just an unknown thing. And number two, I do think that there has to be more community resources for people who cannot afford certain things.
Oh
I think
yeah.
a lot of times there's many healers that charge an arm and a leg for a 1 hour session,
Right.
and then it's like, I don't have that money to keep doing it over and over and over. I think
I agree.
it's just different things. Like, I feel like the healing community, I don't know how to do it other than saying you get some kind of medical degree and you're able to take insurance or nonprofit or something. But it's starting out. It's starting out. And I feel like a lot of men, only way they're going to jump into something like that is if their probation makes them or if the courts are making them do it. And then
Right.
even then it's like so focused on so much other shit. I've seen
That,
like the men's therapy that they go to, and it's like,
that's the
it's so sad.
that's the change that we need though. That's the thing.
We
Who
do.
starts to instill the change? Who starts to say, you know what, we do need to change this. We do need something. Who does that? You know what I mean? That's the thing. Because we can say all the problems, but where's the fucking solution and who's going to step up to start it? That's the other part about it. Cuz I'm not saying that it doesn't get costly cuz I have spent thousands of dollars on my fucking healing, you know? But I will say that in this process, it's been worth it. No matter how far or that I've gotten in it, I'm way fucking better I was before I did any of the
Hmm.
different techniques and shit that I did. I think we also have to get to the point that we're worth it, that we're worth that money. You know, if you look at the people who put money into themselves, they put money into themselves because they've understood and they've got to that point to they understood their value. Our value is so fucking low that we won't even do that. We won't get that money.
Do
But
you think
I've
you would
seen.
have been able to heal the way you do now had Bracy been 8, 9, 10 years old? Like
I
back
mean,
then?
if I would have had maybe the resources to do it, you know what I mean. But I didn't. I didn't have those
I
resources.
just
I
feel
didn't
like
have.
I might be able to get more on that path in a few years when like I get financially stable with things because
But
my
I
kids
can.
are so young. But I
What I
also,
can say.
huh?
What I can say is that I can be honest with myself on my finances, right? Even when I was a working
Hmm.
mom, you know what? There's times where I would fuck off a lot of money. Okay. I would fuck off a lot of money on shit, on bullshit, on bullshit. And I can look back and honestly say that with
Hmm.
myself. And it's like, had I have, even when I look back before, even before the spiritual, I'm like, man, all the money I used to fuck off, going to the club, doing this and that. Had I have had those resources, maybe I would have put it into something else, you know? It's the same kind of concept with healing for me, is I feel like, of course, yes, we don't have the resources and then maybe we get to it. But if we always tell ourselves we can't afford it because this, that, and the third, maybe you really can't. Maybe
I
finding some people who are doing donation based healing, or you know what I mean?
well, remember we had talked about saving and stuff. So for me, I think it's right. Like I get not to put my finances out there or anything because we're always okay. But when it comes to certain things like some people get little bits of money here and there, right? Whether they're on government assistance or whatever, they get this one piece of money, or it's just you get a few $100s every week, right? Instead of having those big payments like your taxes, right? You get this big check, you get this $3,000, $4,000 check, and you're like, okay, I can take some of this and do this with it. But when you're living penny to penny and you don't know how to save, that's what you do. You
Right,
trick off your money and you don't realize it until it's too late. And I think for me too, I think we need more healers that look like us. There's certain
right,
healers that I've seen that I don't think are any less than. They're probably fucking great, but I can't relate.
right,
I can't
right.
relate. They've never been where I've been. They never had the struggle that I had, or they don't look like me. So it's hard for me to relate to
Right.
certain people. And I feel like a lot of times we don't have people who look like us or who come from where
Right.
we come from. And to tell somebody my story, and I know you can't judge anybody, but you look at them and
Right.
you're like, this person hasn't seen a hard day in their fucking life. Now, maybe they have, but all you have to go off of when you first meet a person is what you're presented with. You know what I mean? And it's hard for me to get comfortable with somebody
Assumption.
and tell them that.
Right, right, right. I do agree we need more, we do need more healers in this path. And we need more people to give a shit in this way, to
Hmm.
believe in it. You know, the bad part about it is it's because no one really gets into it. People are afraid to, or they don't feel
Yeah.
it's going to be something that works. So if we don't get more people to try it, to vouch for it, to say it does work, then it'll never move, right? It'll never grow, it'll never move, you
Hmm.
know?
Yeah.
And I will tell you guys, you just have to search. My past life regression, I got a lady who was doing donation based past life regressions. You know what I mean? You just have to put it out there to search. Not everybody is charging $400 or $500 for services. Not everybody is charging that much money. And I know that we get on, we, like I said, I know the story. I've told myself the same shit. Oh, I don't have money. I don't have money. But when you really sit down and look at, if you really break down your finances, you will see that you might have more money than what you think you do. Because sometimes we just do that. We're used to doing this, that, and the third. And then it's like, oh shit, maybe I could have put that to the side. Not saying that, one day you're just going to wake up and know how to fucking do your finances, right? But it's the same thing, how we say there comes a time where you have to get into that point of wanting to do better. Really looking at your, like one of when we were talking about the statements, and I said, if you guys print your bank statement
Hmm.
and just mark off what you really fucking spend in a month, look at what you spent shopping, eating out, and all of that. Really sit down 1 month and look at it. You will see that
I
you actually spend more on shit that maybe you can do without for a month or two.
I do think within the next few years, though, that that's something that I'm going to be able to focus on. But you're right, people do have to do their research because not everybody wants hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
No,
It's hard
no,
to do that research. And I know, like you said, regular therapy didn't work for you, but I do know that there are certain therapy services, at least in every state that I've been in or heard of, that do some kind of counseling for free.
they
And
do.
you just might have to go to a community center and sit in a waiting line, like where
Right,
they have open sessions or something like that. But there are certain places that will take you.
right.
And if you
Well,
are on
most
like that
insurances,
disability or something, a lot of times you have
right,
insurance and
right,
somebody will, see you. It might not be what works for you, but you don't know who that person knows. You
right,
don't know
right.
what
Most
programs these
insurances,
people know of.
right, right. That's what I'm saying. We got to get out of the thing of we don't know, right? We got to get out of the thing of we don't know. And unfortunately, we do know that the tarot world is basically just quick, fast entertainment readings and
Hmm.
shit like that. And this has been one of my biggest things about pushing the healing, pushing this, pushing that. We offer free healing circles. How many people come to those healing circles? You got to
Yeah,
be more than sitting back saying I can't, I don't have this, I don't have that. When you got people who are constantly putting it, those of you who have been in the tribe, how long? We've been doing the healing circle for
I've
over a
never
year.
noticed that until I watched one the other day and I was like, oh, okay. You know?
It's one of those things inside me, knowing where I came from. And I always tell you guys, I came from the hood. I came from a dysfunctional family, abusive, not abusive towards